Hello and welcome. And in this video, I'm talking about how to create a consistent path to more sales and business growth. Now, if you're a coach, a consultant, or course creator, you've been in business for about 2 to 3 years plus, and you've hit an income ceiling of anywhere between 10 to 30K, and you want to take things to that next level per month. I mean, 10 to 30K a month. We really need to look at like what business are you in and how can we turn things around in order to create consistent growth. And I speak to a lot of consultants, business coaches, life coaches, a mix of coaches and consultants throughout my weeks every week. And one of the key things is, what's the path of growth for me right now? Now, depending on where you are, if you're kind of all in on your business and that's your main thing, you've probably had a few experiences with doing different things to grow your business, from looking at your strategy, looking at the kind of offers that you put together, looking at the ways that you generate traffic, which can be organic, it can be paid marketing or paid advertising, looking at leveraging team members, appointment setters, social media managers, social media VAs, all of these different types of things. But the challenge that you're going to find is that if you're not clear on what your strategy is and therefore what the market demand is around the problem that you help them to fix, it can be a real struggle. And looking at simplicity, and this is going to be a pretty short video, I just want to keep this one short and snappy based on a couple of, I guess, interactions and conversations I've had this week with people asking about how do we achieve consistent growth, like what's the key. Now, in simple terms, the more simple you keep it, the more successful you are likely to become, right? Because if it's simple, you can put in more reps, more repetitions than, let's say, competitors or other people in the market. But the challenge you're going to face is that if you've got too much complexity in your approach to growing your business and just operating your business full stop, it almost acts like a barrier for you to go to that next level. So I'll give you a quick example. Let's say you've got like 10 different offers that you allow for people to buy from you. Or when people reach out to you, let's say you do a lot of custom quotations, right? The very nature of the fact that every time a customer comes to you, you have to do a customized quotation, or you've got multiple offers that you're putting out there, and they don't really lead your leads, prospects, and eventually clients to one direct path, which is to lead them to the one thing that you do, your main thing. It creates a lot of complexity, not just for you, but for your team members to manage all of those things. And the simpler your approach to the strategy that you put in place for your business with, your offers, how you convert people from being leads to prospects to clients, meaning some type of conversion mechanism. And there's many, and I'll go through a few in a moment. The easier you make it for your business, the consistent path is not, the complicated path. And just to give you some context, let's say you've got your message, you help your niche and you talk about consistently about the frustrations, desires, and the limiting beliefs that are holding your niche back. And, you talk about the answers, the experiences, you give stories with emotion, you use empathy and compassion in your messaging. Like, you're going to attract people, right? Your key is to get more eyeballs on that message, meaning, repurposing or redistribution. Just like this live right now, I'm going out to about 6 or 7 different places, right, on the internet. And a lot of people will, for example, publish one thing like for the day on one channel and think, I'm done, and the reality is that there is way more opportunity for you to publish and distribute, because what you're vying for is to capture attention, to build a audience, to build a following. And the more simpler your approach to doing that task, the more that you can create content that goes out for the audience. Now, creating one piece of content, great, but you're not going to move mountains with one piece of content. Don't get me wrong, you can go viral with one piece of content, but consistency is about committing to the actions of getting your content out there, consistently. But what you also got to look at is how much time do you spend on marketing? Because business growth can come from two areas. It can come from how well your marketing performs, or it can come from, let's say, the customers that you bring on and then you upsell, meaning that you're able to get back end sales with your customers, meaning, you can increase the lifetime value of the customers that you have, therefore the sales and the cash coming into your business. But the biggest opportunity is what you can do on the front end to bring more customers into your business, right? Now, depending on your business model, like for example, you could have £100,000 or dollars coaching or consulting program, and you might say, actually, I just want 10 clients every year, and you do 1 million, right? That's possible. On the other hand, you may have a business that doesn't charge so much, but maybe you want to get 50 clients who, invest 20,000 a year with you, right? That's still 1 million. It might give you a bit of diversity, a lot of different types of clients that you can work with. You might work in a one-on-one format or a group format. Probably 50 clients, you're going to work in a group format or some type of hybrid where they get access to you, get access to support coaches or your team or whatever. But the key thing that I'm getting to is it's all about being clear on what offer, what model you're going to use. So if we know we've got to produce content, and we know that content focuses around a problem or a desire that you're going to help your niche to achieve or attain. And you focus on the frustrations, fears, wants, aspirations of that niche in your content. You're repurposing your content out. When a person does reach out to you, the key that you want at this point is to be clear on like, what is your signature offer, your main offer, right? And I say this because what you can do is tempt people with kind of low ticket offers, for example, right? You might have a low ticket offer that goes into the marketplace and it can do exceedingly well. The challenge you're going to have with that is you're going to need more customers to break through the 10 to 30k a month level, with a low ticket offer. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just one of those things that you've got to be aware of. And the way that you do that is to get better at your marketing message. The more consistent, the more powerful your marketing message, the more likely is that is to happen. However, if you want to bring in bigger chunks of cash, you're probably going to have more of a high ticket offer, something that's like 5 to, let's say, 25k for a person to work with you. And you're going to need less customers in order to generate the same, level of cash that you would need for a low ticket offer with lots of customers, lots of clients, right? So in order to create this consistent path to growth, what I'd recommend to you, if you do have, this model where you're focused on selling a higher ticket offer, 5 to 25k, then it's have the one offer. Don't do proposals, don't do custom quotes, have the one offer. And the more that your message and your voice is speaking consistently and clearly to that niche, and you come across with more depth than, kind of breadth, meaning going wide, what you do is go 1 inch wide, 1 mile deep. And the key with that is your message becomes sharper and it cuts through the noise of the marketplace. And so, I see quite often people saying, oh, I really want to know how to stand out from the crowd. I want to know how to become an authority to my niche. And quite simply, it's just you showing up consistently with your message. I'm not going to exaggerate and say you don't need experience or successes or to kind of, have skills that show people you can do what you are promising in your offers. But like that part comes with it. The more you invest, the more reps you put into showing up daily with your message, with clients, helping them to become successes, to create more case studies, the more people will pay attention to you. And by having this approach where you've got this one signature offer, it creates less complexity. One, when you've got your team who are following up on perhaps prospects either by email or DMs, right? It makes it easier for you to have scripts to progress a person from being a lead to becoming a prospect to perhaps either buying directly on a checkout page or going to booking a call with you. And you create more simplicity in knowing what the processes are, what the scripts are, and how you transfer a person across. And it can go from content to a person in your DMs wanting to book in a call, or it can go from content, whether it's organic or paid, to a person booking in, perhaps or registering for your webinar or for a challenge or for like a workshop, right? But the more clearer you are on what conversion mechanisms you're going to have to get people to your one offer, the simpler your approach is going to be, and the less complexity that you're going to need, in your business. Meaning that you're not going to need lots of funnels, lots of Zapier zaps, lots of different technology, even perhaps not even having or needing a website, right? In this day and age, like literally, I've seen people, and I've used this myself, and I use it myself, like having Google document landing pages or Notion landing pages, like. In this day and age, we don't have to complicate things. It's the more simpler your approach to marketing and putting your message out to your audience, the more consistent you'll see where the gaps are. And seeing the gaps and knowing where the gaps are, and then knowing what actions to take, i.e., what can I improve around my approach so that I can improve perhaps a better hook, better content, a better way to get people to take up my call to actions, injecting more empathy into the message. Like, these are the steps that will help you to consistently grow. Quite often we're trying to be sophisticated. And we're sophisticated because we're solution providers, and meaning, we come from a place of knowing what our niche need before they get the solution. And instead of speaking to them where they are with the current frustrations and desires or fears that they have, and in the language and understanding the current environment that they're faced internally and externally with, we kind of shift people to, hey, this is what you need. And we start prescribing like a doctor. And what happens is we miss the connection, we miss that empathy, and the emotions that go into that connection with your message are so critical, and they're often overlooked in your haste to just get a lead, prospect, and client, right? But what I'd say to you is just focus more on how can you show up consistently. How can you go from doing like 30 minutes of marketing a day to go into 2 hours a day, to really finding out where the gaps are, where the opportunities are, where your best content is winning perhaps 5% of the time, and getting clearer on removing the 95% of stuff that doesn't work and doing more of the things that do work, picking up on the key topics that get people to raise their hand, that get people to actually want to inquire on how they can get help from you, with the coaching programs or online courses or services that you provide as a consultant. Like, that's the key. So if you want to create a consistent path for more sales and business growth, my advice to you is look at your strategy. Like, look at your strategy from the perspective as a business owner with a small team. And what is it that you can do to keep things simple? What is it that you can do to keep it as one business model with one offer for one niche that you can take with one conversion mechanism that you can convert into sales, either through the conversion mechanism or through DM sales or phone call sales, right? And then have your delivery, meaning how you deliver the course, how you deliver and help your clients. Like, this is the path to growth. The more that you can simplify that front end so that when you get clients, they can get the results that they actually come to you for. And then you end up with more case studies, more success. And, people will naturally share and refer you, as well as those case studies will help you to land your next clients. Like, this is the path to simplicity. It isn't overcomplicating it with different types of marketing approach that you're constantly chopping and changing. The power of consistency is that it will create a compound effect just from you showing up, right? The people who show up and they don't have high level skills or the intellect of perhaps some of the brightest sparks in perhaps your industry or niche are the ones who win, because the other people are overthinking things. They're keeping it complicated. They're overthinking their message rather than showing up, performing those actions, analyzing the things that are working and not working, and going again, making the improvements and going again is what is going to lead you to where you need to be. So the consistent path for me is about being consistent, about showing up, about putting in the reps. It's almost like having a gym membership, right? You can have that gym membership, but unless you turn up to the gym, the muscles aren't going to grow, right? You're not going to get the outcome you're looking for. So for me, keep things simple. Yeah, that would be my advice, and just stay consistent. The longer you stay in the game and keep showing up, the more likely it is that compound effect is going to basically lean towards you being that success and really what you're looking for with your outcomes. And the next step is get some outside help. Yeah, get a mentor, get a coach, be around like-minded people, perhaps in a mastermind, something that just keeps your head in the game with other people who are on that path to growth, who are winning. Like, that's where you're going to find your consistent path to more sales and more growth in your coaching or consulting business. If you need help and you're looking for help, just reach out to me, just drop me a DM and I can share some details on how I help coaches and consultants to do 6 and 7 figure results per year in their business. And finally, if you're looking at your business and you're thinking, well, I'm not sure about the model, I'm not sure about my offers, I've actually got a couple of workshops coming up, one in particular about offers, and perhaps that might be of use to you. How to create an irresistible offer that you can charge 5 to 50K plus for each client and actually sell it consistently and confidently. So as I said, just let me know if you're interested in those things. Just comment below this video or just send me a DM. But on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. Those of you on YouTube, please do remember, hit the subscribe button and I'll catch you on the next video. I'm Leon Street. Take care. Bye-bye.